So a chanceless first 15 minutes here at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Bolton started the brighter of the two sides, but comfortable in possession, knocking it about relatively well. George Thomason had a pot shot from about 20 yards that sailed wide of the post. But since then, for the last 5 or 10 minutes, Wickham have started to look a bit more comfortable in the game, got themselves a little bit of a foothold. Very even first 15 minutes. Not much to report so far. Alan?
No, Bolton are trying to manage the ball, aren't they, Bobby? They are trying to keep the ball ticking, trying to get a feel for the football. They know they're up against a really good side in Wickham Wanderers. Wickham will no doubt go into the game. But they are trying to get the ball under control. A couple of passes have gone astray. Again, another shot there as we're speaking, just over the keeper's left-hand top corner. But they are trying to link things together. It's just that right now players aren't on the same hymn sheet, and they've got to get on that hymn sheet very, very soon. It's still Bolton Wanderers 0, Wickham Wanderers 0 at the Tough Sheet. 30 minutes on the clock at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. It is still Bolton Wanderers 0, Wickham Wanderers 0. Wanderers still struggling to get a foothold in this game. Very untidy in possession. A lot of players not reading off the same or singing off the same hymn sheet. Now, what I would say is that obviously, clearly, with the team selection, with the injuries that Bolton Wanderers have got, it is very, very difficult to expect cohesion on the pitch. But players are going to be braver. Collins has got to look after the ball better. Thomason the same. But everyone is trying their heart out to try and make things work. But it's just very, very disjointed, Bobby, isn't it?
Yeah, as you say, very untidy from Bolton so far. I think they've edged the better of the chances. They've had a few half chances that they were unable to take. Aaron Collins came short from the corner, got his shot away. That was blocked, but he's been very weak on the ball, pushed over and lost possession far too easily for my liking. And as you can hear, Wanderers giving the ball away again, and the crowd is starting to get a little bit frustrated. It's a frustrating kind of day, but there's a goal in it, a goal either way. What way it'll go, I don't know. And the scoreline remains 0-0 between Bolton Wanderers and Wickham Wanderers. Very scrappy, not very tight, not very tidy, not one that was very good to watch. There's still 2 minutes left, Alan. It's not looked great, has it, for a Bolton Wanderers?
No, very, very untidy. As I said 15 minutes ago, Bobby, you can tell that it's a makeshift starting 11, it's a makeshift squad of 18. Schumacher looking very frustrated down there. Seems to have lost a bit more hair as the half has gone on as well. He's been ripping it out down there in the technical area. It's not been tidy at all. Players not on the same hymn sheet as we'll be asking for 15 minutes in. Dempsey the only one really today showing any real technical IQ for Bolton Wanderers, trying to get things going on the front foot, but everybody else seems to be on a completely different page to Kyle Dempsey. Somehow still in the game. If it's not for Chris Farino, I think we can create a lot more. He's been absolutely stellar at the back. Bar one little mistake towards this update, he's been pretty faultless at the back, Chris Farino. People have got to get up to speed though, the players have got to get up to speed, but he'll be asking for more at half time. It's still Bolton 0, Wickham 0, nearly half time. So then half time at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium, a very untidy half football. From both sides really, but Wickham the better side in terms of what they've done with the ball. Bolton very untidy, struggling to make it stick up front. Morse has tried but he's struggled. Dempsey the only one on the pitch that seems to have any intellect and any metronomic value to him. And Bolton, like I say, have struggled to really get a foothold in the game.
Yeah, as you say, Lolos struggling up at the top of the pitch, struggling to make a mistake. Collins and McAtee aren't quite having the best of games on either flank. Under-hit passes, I think, has been the story so far for Bolton.
I feel like there's not been too much quality on show, and just hopefully we can get more in the second half. For either side, there's nothing clear cut. 5 shots max in the game so far, and yeah, hopefully better in the second half.
Well, to play for the second half, of course. Wickham sneaking into the top 2. Bolton Wanderers still in 8th as things stand at half time. Off the wait to see the second half, won't we?
58 minutes on the clock at the Tough Sheet, and Wickham take the lead. It's Caleb Taylor, the former Bolton Wanderers man, from a free kick, another avoidable goal. We lose out in a 50-50 in the middle of the field. There was Thomason and Lolos there, and somehow Josh Scully runs out with the ball. They get to the side of the box, and Matete comes in with a big challenge, gets nowhere near the ball, yellow card, and the ball is chipped to the back post, and Caleb Taylor heads home. So avoidable, yet so predictable.
Very, very poor, Bobby. The 50-50 in the middle of the park, 2 Bolton players going for the ball, both miss out. Wickham come away with the ball. They drive up the pitch. But very, very, very naive. The ball was probably easier to win. He actually takes the man. Then there's a good 45 seconds to a minute, nearly a minute and a half pause. We called it. The ball goes to the back post. Caleb Taylor nips in completely unfazed, unmarked, and flicks it in to Baxter's far post. Too easy. Bolton were in the game. Might have very well thrown it away there. Mounted to climb with 30 minutes to go. It's looking very, very difficult to get out of the division now, isn't it? 65 minutes on the clock then, and David Abimbola enters the field of play, and straight away he makes himself a bit of a nuisance. He comes on, big frame, big imposing player, and looks to try and get himself fully involved in the action. Referee has continued to pull things up from time to time. Bolton Wanderers getting very little given to them in 50-50 duels. Any touch on a Wycombe player, they go down, and the game stops and the momentum is killed. Of course, entering the field of play as well is Kiela Tete. Can he make a difference? Can him and Abin Bowler link up with Collins and McAtee either side in a 4-2-4 formation now, Bobby? Will this game take a turn for the better?
You like to think so. The atmosphere has picked up since Abin Bowler's come on the field. We're putting a little bit more pressure on, but the question is there again, why do we have to go 1-0 down before we start to build the atmosphere and the pressure? Reading are losing as it stands. We're still only 3 points behind those playoff places. Can we make it count? Wanderers need to get on that score sheet soon. So 80 minutes on the clock here at the Tough Street Community Stadium. Wycombe still lead the game by a goal to nil. Bolton, the pressure didn't really amount to much. Yet to have a chance in the whole game. We're 80 minutes in, and not once have Bolton Wanderers looked like scoring a goal. If anything, it's looked like Wycombe have been the more dangerous of the sides. Bodies being thrown around, such as George Johnson trying to block shots and keep the scoreline at 1-0. And there's been minimal up the other end by way of chance creation. And if it stays the same, then Wycombe are walking away with 3 points and possibly in the top two.
The thing is, Bobby, if you're doing that up there and you're grafting and you're grinding and you're trying to keep the scoreline down, you've got to be doing more up this end. Again, very untidy. It's not sticking at all. No Bolton Wanderers player really getting it under with any real meaning and looking to do anything with cleanliness. It's all very scrappy. It's all very untidy. Since the lads have come on, Abin Bowler and of course Tete, there's a bit more of a directness to it, but nothing is sticking. When the ball's coming from wide areas, it's going in with a more hit and hold type approach than trying to really pick a man out. And in the end, only one real chance I can think of, which I'd call an our chance, a little header past the goalkeeper's left-hand post from a ball that really could have and should have been better. With a couple of minutes to go, it is Bolton Wanderers 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, and as we speak, what could have been a penalty has not been given.
93 minutes on the clock, the Tough Street is empty, Wycombe have doubled their lead. How on earth they've managed to wriggle the way from the corner into the penalty area and pull the ball into the back of the net? I do not know. It is looking bleak here at Bolton Wanderers. Wycombe storming into the top two. Bolton Wanderers are faltering, still 3 points off the playoffs. How after this game they're still in touching distance of the playoffs, I will never know. Horrendous performance from first to last minute. They've not had a chance, they've not looked like scoring, there's been no fight, no determination, no grit. Big problems at Bolton Wanderers.
The manager Schumacher has done absolutely everything, Stephen Schumacher. He's thrown every player on the pitch. The players have got to hold this one, take it, eat humble pie. It's been nowhere near clean enough. The ball's not stuck. It's been very untidy in transition, very untidy in wide areas. The ball's not been looked after. There's been absolutely zero link-up play in the second half. First half, very little either, but in the second half, been little bits of link-up, but very little quality link-up play to carve Wycombe open. They've played at a canter, they've played at 60%. The way that, as Bobby said, that ball's got into the box, the way that they were 3v2, the way that all he's had to do is shuffle the ball to the left and he's rifled it back across the keeper is pretty embarrassing. How will the season curtail? We still don't know, but morale is very low right now. It is Bolton Wanderers 0, Wycombe Wanderers 2.
So it's full time here at the Tough Street. As you can hear, celebrations from the away end as Wycombe walk away 2-0 victors. Somehow Bolton Wanderers are still just 3 points off the playoffs, but hope is very much fading as a gutless performance, heartless, lack of fight, lack of passion.
Alan, what are your thoughts? Yeah, very tough one to take that, Bobby, in terms of just the untidiness of it all. It was a very scrappy, untidy performance in terms of build-up. Bolton never really got over the ball and did anything meaningful with it. Very rarely did you string more than 2 or 3 passes together with meaning where you went in a positive direction. Very negative performance, a very depleted squad, of course, and the lads went out there and they had to go out there. They're the only ones that could go out there, but they could have done more in that game. There was so much space to attack, there was so much opportunity to go and prove yourself, to prove even why you should be, you know, playing if even lads that are injured get themselves back somehow for the last 2 games of the season. Maybe not the next one against Lincoln, but the last 2 games of the season. But overall, just a very untidy performance. Bolton Wanderers whimper out of the game with 2-0 loss at home, and they go now to a place that is Sinsel Bank that it's an intimidating place to go with a side in Lincoln who will be full of beans, and they've got a mountain to climb.
It was just all round poor. I mean, no real quality, and I can't remember a clear-cut chance from Bolton. I don't think there even is one. Just the build-up play, everything, just nothing really. We couldn't really get through into that Wycombe final third, really, and even when we did, again, no quality. And I think it'll be, like you say, 3 points off the playoffs, but tough ass now.
Yes, it's a depleted squad, but we've not even looked like scoring once, and that's an excuse that cannot be used.
Yeah.
It was a depleted squad, it was a second string side, but you've got to use that as an opportunity to want to get into the first team. It's all over here with the tough sheet. Problems for Bolton Wanderers as they lose 2-0 at home to Wycombe.